This is the news for October the 25th of 2021, and boy, is it chock full of some information. Before we do go anywhere, I want to, of course, pay the bills. You got to pay them bills, folks. And how we do that is through the sponsors here of Local PR Toolkit. Folks, you could be your own publicist. It's really simple. The search is over. The publicist is you. You don't need to spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on an actual publicist, because this team will customize a toolkit perfect for you. So that way you can reach out to your local media and any other pertinent locations that will get your foot in the door and get you in front of more people. To get more details, go ahead and visit our affiliate link at dalelinks.com/PR Toolkit. Use the coupon code DALE to take $100 off your order. Let's get that first item of the news, and it comes here from Book Award Pro. All right, you guys have heard me gush about these guys, and these guys are fantastic. Can I say guys 10 more times? Probably. I probably won't now, though, since I said it. So, Book Award Pro was last month's sponsors. I'm always geeked up to share some information about them. In fact, last week, I won 3 stinking awards from this. This brings up 20 awards for Book Award Pro. Well, they actually had, they're probably going to shoot me when I say they got some bad news. The bad news is this. They're starting to grow, and as they're growing, their expenses are, of course, growing. So that means that the pricing is going to be changing. But the good news for you is that you pay attention to this podcast. So if you've been on the fence about getting Book Award Pro, get it before December the 8th of 2021. Start your service now to lock in the lower price. So right now, they have the Essentials plan is normally $9 per month. The Plus plan is $59, and the Pro plan's $189. So I'm locked in at that $189, baby. It's not bad at all. They actually are increased it by $1 to $199 by about $10. Another $10 on the Plus plan, and as well, it's going to be about another $6. So if you want to get it at this lower pricing, might I recommend that you go ahead and visit Book Award Pro today, dalelinks.com/Book Award Pro, or you can just go to bookawardpro.com if you don't want to support me. I'm totally fine with that. I will probably weep, and I might go buy some ice cream and eat a whole pint to myself as I weep. But you get me. All right, here we go. Next item up in the news comes from Apple Books. If you aren't familiar yet with this, all right, folks, last year, Apple more recently put out a platform that whether you have Mac or you have PC, you can now publish to Apple Books for authors. So if you ever want to look up this information, go to authors.apple.com and get your account set up right away. I love me some Apple, and I like those paychecks that they kick to me once a month. So definitely look into Apple. Really, really good. And speaking of Apple, this is not just a shill for them or anything else like that. They sent out an important announcement, the holiday season delivery schedule. If you plan on releasing a book on Apple Books between November 22nd and January 3rd, remember to check the following delivery deadlines. And they have a number of delivery deadlines. Instead of me exhaustively telling you every single one of those, just get with them. Books delivered after these deadlines may not be available on the desired release date. So just looking really quick, you're really wanting to allow for at least 2 weeks when you're publishing your ebook to Apple. In the event that you want to get it out in a timely fashion. Due to the high volume of deliveries and updates we receive during this time of year, we do not recommend making changes between December 19th and December 26th. Yes, that's heck week. I'm just going to put it in a nice way. Make sure to submit any important content, pricing changes, or clearance changes by the respective deadlines noted in this message. So there you go. Get at least a 1 to 2 week jump on anything that you're wanting to publish. And if you're wanting to do any updates on Apple, avoid the week of Christmas because they are going to be way too busy to handle any kind of requests. And Apple's really good about that, by the way. And let's move on to the next item in the news. Findaway Voices just let me know something very interesting. If you haven't been to something called Clubhouse, you might want to go ahead and take a look at the fact that Findaway Voices actually has their own Clubhouse now. Will Dagus is actually in charge of the whole thing. He's actually the head of Findaway Voices, good friend of Kelly's and mine. Nice guy. Scott Curry's also in charge of their PR team, super nice dude. But they have something coming up on October the 29th at 2 p.m. They will be talking about audiobooks along with Katie from Findaway Voices casting team. Authors and narrators, bring your questions. I will make sure to leave a link down below for something like that, just in case you are interested. I'm sure it'll probably be a blast. I might tune in. We'll see what's going on that Friday. I'm usually slammed with work. And speaking of distribution, PublishDrive just announced they picked up a distribution avenue, and that is through Baker and Taylor. This is the reach of the widest network of libraries. So when you get into Baker and Taylor, you get into many distribution avenues. Since the outbreak of the pandemic, the demand for digital books and platforms surged like never before. Digital store types such as online retailers, Amazon, and subscription platforms like Dream boomed a ton, and libraries lead the pack. By the end of 2020, PublishDrive Indies made 129% more book sales with library distribution. Baker and Taylor is a giant library provider you don't want to miss. Now, just as a heads up, PublishDrive is a different type of an aggregate publishing model. They will do ebook, print book, and audiobook, but it's with a little bit of a catch. Normally on aggregate publishing, you're having to do a revenue share of sorts. So something like Draft to Digital, you will take 85% of net profits, and Draft to Digital takes 15% of net profits. With PublishDrive, that's not at all the case. They actually charge you a monthly subscription service to distribute through them. Now, a couple weeks ago, I told you before, AppSumo has a deal on PublishDrive. So if you want to just forego that whole monthly subscription, you might want to go over to AppSumo and pick that up. I'm not sure if it's still alive, but you can go look over at dalelinks.com/publishdeal. And I think it gets upwards of like 96 books you can upload to the platform. And the beauty of it is you collect 100% of net profits. So that means that whatever sales you make to, say, Apple through PublishDrive, or to Barnes & Noble, or to Amazon if you were to distribute there, you collect all of it. So that's pretty cool. Something to think about. Honestly, I like PublishDrive. Is the subscription-based model like my thing that I'd like to get into? It's not my thing, but it might be for you if you would like to just forego the whole revenue share, especially if you're pulling in, I would say, for anybody that's making about $1,000 or more per month, PublishDrive might actually be something for you to consider. There you go. Alrighty, let's move on. And speaking of publishing avenues, it's so crazy that I'm talking about stuff in self-publishing, but we are going to go ahead and talk about Kobo Writing Life. Believe it or not, they actually have a great YouTube channel. Just set the reminder bell and I'm going to hit the thumbs up. Kobo Writing Life actually was on their channel at one point or another. They're having an expert, Zoe York, coming to talk a little bit more about her experience in navigating the indie publishing journey. And in fact, this is what they say. Zoe has written over 70, count them, 70 books. So she knows something about navigating the indie publishing journey. We'll be chatting about being a romance author in 2021, the ups and downs of indie publishing, and much more. That will be on their YouTube channel. Go on over to Kobo Writing Life and make sure, of course, that you hit the subscribe. I feel embarrassed I didn't subscribe to them. So there we go. Kobo, please don't be angry at me. So there we go. You guys see, I subscribed. Alrighty. Moving further forward, this is actually kind of one of those ones that you can kind of help it. You snicker when you see something like this. It was just found out a best-selling female author turned out to be 3 men. And they go in depth about it. Is a dark thriller called The Gypsy Bride that was written by Carmen Mola. And it turns out that it was described by a publishing house owned by Penguin Random House as a college professor in her 40s who lived in Madrid with her husband and 3 children. Mola gave interviews offering details on her life and career. I didn't want my colleagues at my office, my sister-in-law, or my mother to know that I wrote a book where someone kills a woman by getting larva worms into her skull. For my circle, I am much more conventional, Mola was quoted as saying to her agent, as told the French Daily. So, yep, there are the guys. They received some type of an award. And people kind of found that out. So I found that out through Google. Big thanks to Google for the chuckle. So there we go. All right. And I talked about this just before I went and did the news segment. And that is, we are right now almost a third of the way through quarter four. If you're not familiar with quarter four, it is the last 3 months in the year that represents the sales schedule. This is a big time of year. If you already have content out, get ready, prepare yourselves. And Lulu helps you do a little bit about that, learn a little bit more about Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales. And they give a little bit of a history behind each one of these things and some items for you to consider as you're going into quarter four so you can make the most of that time. So this is over on blog.lulu.com, where they talk about Black Friday and Cyber Monday holiday sales planning. What'd you think about today's news segment? Was there a piece of news that you appreciated the most? Was there something that I missed over the last week? Let me know inside the comments. I definitely would love to hear from you.